Hello again. I can't really hold you out very far because my selfie stick just snapped when I was trying to put the phone in it. You gotta love these products from that country over there, haven't you? Lucky I've got a spare, but it's not here with me. I am obviously at the buses and I have a radiator. Can you see? You can see. I'll get it out and show you, but what I really want to tell you is tomorrow is UK Day at the Sydney Bus Museum, and I was hoping to take the Merlin, but I'm not going to make it because I've got to get the radiator in. So tomorrow I'm going to go to UK Day at the Sydney Bus Museum and film it and show you. We've got two, there's an RM and RML, an RT. I think there'll be a Merlin in there on display, not sure. I know there's a London taxi. It's a very popular day, so we'll do that tomorrow, and I'll show you what I'm going to get up to right now with this radiator on this episode of Steve Stuff. My selfie stick in two pieces. It's supposed to go in there like that, but she just clean snapped off. And the radiator back in one piece. They've put a nice big 24 volt fan on there, but I have to build some sort of shroud, otherwise that's going to be quite ineffective. So let me get it out and show you what I'm thinking of doing. Got distracted by, I think some guy must have been over on a shopping spree for cars in the UK. You English guys will be able to decipher that license plate there, I suppose, and tell us what that is. I know it's a Ford Capri, maybe about 1980. We didn't get that face over here, and that's an XJ Jag. It looks in sore and sorry nick. Don't know any more about those cars except they belong to a customer of the yard. So anyway, here we are with the reconditioned Radiator. This is the top tank, the bottom. So what they've had to do to fix it after our last disaster is obviously completely pull it all apart, recore it, put it back together. I noticed they've used some different pins in here. The ones before it, I've got a photo of the day the fan went through it, but they were poking out a bit further. Anyway, it's all been pressure tested. I'm sure it's fine. And I've asked them to put this fan on. Now, this is designed to suck air through the radiator and keep it cool. I have a couple of options as to how to work the fan. I can put a thermo switch, or I can run a switch all the way to the dash. I haven't worked that part out yet, but what I have to work out now is how to do this and cover over those gaps. I've had advice from friends about how to do this. I went and bought a sheet of aluminium, and what I was just going to do was just cut it to size there and just kind of bolt it to this rail, bring it all the way up. But then another friend said it's possibly better to take the fan off, put a nice big sheet like this, cut it to size, and then cut a hole for the fan. The trouble is, look, we recycle things here too. That's a panel off an old double-decker that the museum saved. I think it was an Albion. I don't have anything really good to cut with except my grinder. So if I do try and cut a good circle, it's going to look awful. But again, does it matter because it's going to be hidden? So what I think I might do is get to getting and see how hard it is to get this fan off first and foremost. Right, I've done a bit of fiddling around. I can't get a socket under there without damaging that core. I don't have one small enough to undo these. This is just for nuts and bolts. So I started to think, well, what if I take the whole thing off at the rails And I don't know what they've used, but they've used some sort of weird spring here on the bottom of that, on the inside of that one. And I don't want to damage it. I've never seen it before. It almost like it augments the thread or something. Where is it? There. If you know what that is, let me know in the comments, but I'm just going to leave that. So what I'll do is I'll do the Bushman's mechanic and just try and get some metal cut to sit around there. Kind of like so, and then I'll cut around here. The only thing is I can't get this top bit, but I don't think, I mean, it'd be nice to have a vacuum. I might be able to get a piece under there, but I've really got nothing to attach it to because that's a tank. I can't drill into it, and that doesn't, well, maybe. I don't know. I'll have a look. I just want you to know that this is not going to be pretty, but hopefully it'll be effective. Okay, so I've just kind of got that sitting there. I had to cut out a hole here and here for these bolts, and there were these two studs. Conveniently, so I think I've got the nuts for those. They can be used to help keep this down, and I'll screw something's in there. I don't know what I can screw into and what I'm allowed to and what I'm not, but I can definitely screw along here. This is this frame. It should be okay. To the other side. I have to consider on this side is clearing this. That's the bottom hose mount. I can't remember if it goes that way or that way, but I'll have to make sure that it clears there. There's also the bracket here for the stay pole. Just kind of strengthens the radiator when it's hanging in place. Everything else looks okay, and then I'll just trim it off here as well. Starting to lose light, and yes, I'm still driving that. No word on the F-150. Starting to lose light, so I'm going to pack it up. But as you can see, I've got these kind of mocked up. I had to cut a notch around here. I just couldn't get those nuts undone. They've been painted on twice. So I'm going to do the same. I'm going to take these off now and give them a makeover. There we go. Rough coat of paint. I'll do it again properly tomorrow. I'll give it a sand. Get some nuts and bolts. Get some screws in here. But hopefully that will be effective.
The next day.
There's a lot of people here today. There's absolutely nowhere to park. I've had to park 2 or 3 blocks down in a residential street.
Hello, Steve.
Hello, mate.
No, you show us the chicken to New York. Just check it if the space is tilted. Yeah, wait a moment. That's the next
Yeah, what do you see out the window? Do you see some black? Is it a black taxi? We're going to drive past. Do you see the black taxi? Do you see it? Mummy. Red bus. There's the bus driving. Okay, just come on. Sit down, please. Wow.
So this one's RT3706, I think, from memory. I've driven this one. It's a nice bus to drive, a bit slow. 3708. David's the driver. He was a bit slow up the Anzac Bridge. There's someone had a big honk of their horn. Were they honking at us or were they waving? A long way away from its natural habitat.
That's a BYD. Ah, 18 drive. That's a Merlin'S.
So this is my next ride. This is RML 2353, owned by this gentleman here. His name's Sergio.
Hello guys, how are you?
He's a POM, all you UK fellas watching.
Don't sound like it though.
So this has got the Cummins.
Yes, it does, Steve.
So this was a refit while it was still in service, is that right?
1992. I had the Cummins fitted.
Lovely jubbly.
It's a bit of a beast.
Yeah.
It goes really well. We've done a lot of work to it.
You've also got the other Merlin that we saw at Busfest. You didn't bring that today to either?
No, we couldn't bring it. She needs a cooling system flush.
Don't they all?
And I also found there's 2 plates underneath the engine that we can take off to clean out the water jackets.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know about it. I just happened to be watching a video and someone else took them off another AEC. So,
Both Merlins are no show today. Maybe next year.
well, that was the normal thing. They used to call it NSB in London, no service bus. I reckon Merlins were always NSB.
Well, with the money I've just dropped on my radiator, I hope I'll never have cooling problems again.
Mate, we need to buy a lot. We need to win the lotto.
Oh, exactly. I'm going to jump on, come with you. Before we go pick up the packs, I'll just give you a quick look around the RML. He's put different upholstery on. This bus runs as a business for Serge, as a wedding bus and charter bus, so I guess it's best to wear out this sort of upholstery than the difficult to get LT moquet or whatever it's called. Oh, he does. He said he had squeaky belts. Oh, dear. Hello, sir.
Does he know you're on?
Yes, he does.
So busy around here today.
It is.
You still have your driver authority, haven't you?
Yep. I think it's due this year.
Oh, yeah, medical and all that. semi-auto. Similar to the Atlantean and the Merlin, it's got a different controller.
Electric or air? It sounds like electric.
Electric over air, but it's the same controller, it's just the same contacts and everything, but it's just in a different package. See, it's on a sideways. Instead of being upright, it's on the side. But if I put it in fourth gear, usually it will change by itself. But I've disconnected it.
Same as the Merlin.
Yeah, that's disconnected on mine too. I don't like it. It's not good for the gearbox.
Someone disconnected mine years ago.
Yeah, and mine too. You don't want it.
Yeah.
Well, like, I never use it. Even when I used to drive in service, I never drove in automatic. It was too slow. You never got anywhere. Change a semi-auto gearbox. There's lots of videos out there where people don't do it properly.
Lights are out.
This is going to be a problem.
Yeah.
All good?
Alright, let's go, guys. Hey, what do we say to the bus driver? Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks, driver. Bye.
Fair income London taxi. Is that a Wolseley? Austin. RM1708. I'm not going to go out on this trip because it's a bit busy, so this is where I might leave it for UK Day. Go and get some work done on mine. busy today?
Absolutely, yeah, very busy. We're running extra services because there's just so many people in today. Beautiful weather.
Tell us about the genesis of UK Day. When did it start and what was the idea?
We started it when we first got our London bus back 20 odd years ago, and it sort of declined for a while, but it's become more and more popular, and now it's become one of our busiest days of the year.
Just the look on the faces in the city when they see the red bus coming by, and all the kids, they love them.
It's amazing, and the fact that we've got 3 of them and a taxi, it's just the number of people that say, wow, we've never been to London, but we've had a ride on one of these buses. It's a great day.
Shame both the Merlin'S failed to show up today, but you know.
Yeah, but there's always next year, you know.
How are you?
Hopefully you enjoyed that. I certainly did. I think a lot of the kids did as well. As Bob said, it's getting very popular, UK Day. And shame the Merlin'S, plural, both couldn't be there, but just we're both having the same sort of cooling issues, and I didn't get the radiator in time. And also want some new tyres for those front wheels before I go anywhere else in it, pretty much. And that's where I'm heading right now. I didn't go out in the RM because just as we got back in the RML to the museum, there's a couple of sets of traffic lights have blacked out right near the museum. It's a very, very congested area at the best of times, and I just foresaw that was going to get very difficult to get buses through. They're going to start running late on their timetable and it'll be a bit of a mess. I just got caught in it getting out, so it was a good time to leave. Also, I want to get this radiator back in the bus, maybe plumbed in today and even running. We'll see how we go. So I'm heading back to the yard right now to get started on, well, finishing off that housing, the shroud, and starting to think about mounting this rad in. So let's go there and see where we're up to.
And here's where we're at. So back hatch off. I have to take this rubber panel here out so I can get in there. The one of the bolts for the radiator goes into that frame there, and there's only 2 really. It's here and up there, and then there's this little stay pole, and I've just put a second coat of paint on this, and I've realised I haven't tested it. I'm sure it works, the fan, but I'll chuck some power on that now and see if it'll turn. Okay, she's all tightened down. Self-tapped here. This one snapped off. There's always one. It's still nice and tight though, should be okay. These are the original studs and all the way around, so shouldn't flap, shouldn't rattle. If that becomes an issue, you can probably chop down the side there. These are bolts that are, I showed you yesterday, they've got some sort of weird spring on them. I just don't want to touch them. So I've just drilled a hole for the shroud to sit over. So I've tested the fan. I've got it on, I know the polarity to suck. What I might do now is bolt the brackets on, the inlet and outlet, and sit her in there. The afternoon has got long, but as you can see, radiator in. I know it looks crooked, it looks a little bit off centre, doesn't it, or sloped, but that's just the way the mounts sit, and it didn't matter how many times I adjusted the rubber what's-its. So it's in, it's plumbed up. I'm going to put some water in it now and check for leaks, and while I do that I might have a beer and then run some cable. At this stage I'm just going to run some cable to the dash with a switch that'll turn that fan on when the temperature gauge gets to about 70. I just put some water in it, and I was getting a couple of drips, one from here, which I've tightened it up as much as I can get it. It's stopped dripping, might need a new gasket, and out of these here. This pipe isn't perfectly round, and it seems to have stopped. See what it's like when it gets under some pressure. I'm just bleeding this as it bubbles up. There's a lot of water in this, that's just from me putting the hose to it. Can't see any leaks around the rad itself. So that's good. Next job, wire up the fan. Sounds like I got some squealy belts there, but rad's getting warm, so there's fluid passing through it. Nothing leaking. You bloody beauty. Okay, I don't know now if I'm going to get this switch run up to the dash to turn this fan on, because it's kind of hard to get under the bus at the moment. And I don't know, I'm done, I think. We've still got... Have we? There we go, now we can see it, there's a bubble. There we are. So we're holding. Good stuff. So what I've done is I've run that straight to the battery, and that air is flowing that way. So that is sucking air through the core. And it'll be better than what was there, I think. Anyway. Too hard right now to wire that in properly, because to do it properly I have to get into the dash, find a power to run to the switch to then run up to the fan. So as you can see, I've just jump wired that onto the 24 volt circuit. He's done, I'm done, that'll do. And there it is, well there it is. A lot of money, over $11,000 that radiator has cost me now. But it's in, it's not leaking, it's plumbed in, the bus is running, so now I can get the decker out. When I was at the bus museum today, I had a quick chat to Bob about running deckers in the night. I just need to do a couple of things, check all the lights are working, I want to put some tyres on it, and then the museum has to run it through their workshop to make sure it complies and can carry passengers safely and insured to do so. Went through all that stuff with the other double decker. It's pretty easy as long as there's nothing wrong, and we don't think there's anything wrong with that. Hopefully you enjoyed the ride around on a couple of those London double deckers. We did the RT, we did the RML, didn't get onto the RM. It was just getting too late in the day, and as you can see, I've just finished everything I wanted to do, and it's starting to get sundowning on me. So that'll do for now. Do you like the new cap? I've got a couple in different colours. I didn't order them to sell them, I just ordered them to see what you thought, and already I've sent one off to New Zealand. Xavier, thank you very much for grabbing one. Hopefully by the time you see this, I've got a photo of him wearing his hat in New Zealand, and I'll show you now. Otherwise, because I know it's arrived in New Zealand, I'm just not sure if it's made it to his house yet. So you'll see in the, well, hopefully you just saw that he now has the cap and he's wearing it proudly. That'll do for now. Thank you very much for watching. I love that you've all watched the Eggins Depot video. That's crazy. It's up to nearly 3,000, maybe over it by now, views. So I promise I'll do another one. There's another big depot in the area. I'll ask permission and see if we can go and do one of those next time I'm home visiting family. For now, hopefully you enjoyed this one. Thanks for staying to the very end. Don't forget to tell your friends and like and subscribe. I'll see you next time, probably giving that thing a clean up, getting it ready for deckers in the night on Steve Stuff.